welcome back to the Chronicles board, where we curate stories of people, places, and things. And tonight, I'm joined by another amazing fellow. This episode is a part of the series called Chronicles with the Brave Ones, and I am so delighted to have Richard here. Hi, Richard.
Hi, and hi, people.
He is also known as Timekeeper. He's also known as the Timekeeper of the Courts because, Richard is always on time. His calendar is always in sync, and he is always placing his priorities right. Yay!
Thank you very much.
I don't know why I feel a bit anxious about talking to you. Well,
this is your show, relax.
Yeah, I'm trying to, but
maybe you should.
I just want to, be on time.
Yeah, I'm sure you don't want us to go there. That's fine. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for your patience. So, first thing we noticed we had in common, being organized. Yeah. I remember that the first ever conversation we had, we were thinking out loud separately, and then we just synced on that level. Yeah. We were newly in the fellowship, and then everything was just coming in left, right, center, and our calendar was in shambles. And I was like, oh my god, I need to arrange my calendar, I need to do this and that. And you remember the conversation, right? So, and yeah, that's how we got talking. That day we practically sat for an hour or so to organize things, journal, but that accountability did not,
It's not accounted for.
Yeah, I can't account for that right now. But really,
I remember that.
Yeah. But regardless, I am grateful for you, even though we were not like accountability partners, so to say. You always find a way to put me and everyone else in check. Like that's one of the many things that I admire about you, and I'm sure others as well. How are you smiling?
Oh, am I?
All right.
And I said thank you for the record, so it's not like that.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. So, do you mind sharing your story? Like, who is Richard? Beyond what we know here.
Richard is talking about myself in third person. It's funny.
I know.
Richard is. I like to think Richard is an interesting guy. I like to think Richard is a people person.
True.
Yeah, I like to think that way about him. I don't think Richard likes to be in spaces that's isolated. Like Richard.
When you say isolated, like in a box? Oh.
Yeah, just him. Right? Richard would prefer being with people.
Okay.
Right? Thrives alone as well, but not necessarily preferably. Yeah, because Richard believes that people matter. Right? And Richard is big on relationships. Right? Richard has talking about myself in third person.
Yeah.
Richard has seen how relationships have culminated together to bring about, I think the word is serendipity, randomness that brings about good, serendipity, right? And I believe that he's big on people. I think I'll wrap it up with that. Richard is big.
If you could mention something that people have assumed about you but isn't true, how would it be?
Do I stay with here, brave, or generally?
Generally.
About. Yeah, I think generally and that's equally reflected here. This is a subset of generally.
Right.
is that Richard is very serious, right? And that's
Sorry, are you not?
is it? Is it? Yeah, and like there's no randomness, there's no in fact some people
Actually,
mm-hmm.
that remained true until I would say maybe 3 months ago
Okay, why? What happened?
when I saw you
Watching you.
dance in in one of these birthday celebrations. It was Victor's birthday.
Yeah.
That was like the beginning of me seeing you dance,
Mm.
like being you out and out.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think anybody expected. And again, it just buttresses on what I was even saying before.
Yeah.
That people think that rigidness about me, a couple,
But you're
a
mostly
lot,
rigid.
because that's the again, it's just like spaces. The spaces that we are in, right? It's an environment, and in that environment, is definitely there's a way to, in quotes, be mostly, or the way I would interpret it. Because there will be certain things that I would need to do, and I would need to be a particular kind of person to get the kind of outcomes that I personally want. Right? I mean, if we were at the beach, I would not be doing that. If we were at a game hall, I would not be that. Right? So, I mean, people didn't see me when I was in RCF. Shout out to RCF.
Right.
During Christian Fellowship, yeah, I was the leader of that. Like, there's the level that the praise we get to. Everybody will look to me for direction for the next step. So I was, and it switches. So when we are in that mode, we are there, and then when we're moving on. So I what I need to be when I need to be that thing.
Let's talk about places as mold. Like, do you think spaces mold people or people mold spaces?
The spaces mold people, or the people mold spaces.
And what is the correct order of things?
Places mold people, or the people mold places. I don't think it's either this or that. I think it's this and that, right? Because people definitely will make places, right? When you get into a space, you could bring an atmosphere. You could bring. I think you've even mentioned that before. Sometimes when you get into a place,
Right.
you have the tendency to condition the environment.
Right.
And there are times
Which is the feedback I received, and I don't know. I didn't get to throw it away. I just, played with it for as long as I did.
Right.
But in my process of playing with it, I found, intricate truths about the possibility of conditioning a place to what I want. Like, I'm able to say, oh, this is, believe me, I don't want that, and I really enjoy it.
Exactly.
And so I agree with me, with that feedback rather.
That actually makes a lot of sense. And at the same time, it's equally possible for places to mold people.
Right.
Take, for example, growing up, you didn't have much influence over the environment, right? But there was a certain kind of way things were done at home,
right.
Things were done in certain places. For example, you go to a church, they are praying. You will not suddenly make the place to be a clubhouse. You will most likely conform to praying. So that's how places can equally mold people.
So I don't want us to, move away too much from who you are yet into other topics, right? You are like the time management, how do I describe this?
Timekeeper.
I want a better name, maybe time manager.
Okay.
For this quotes, right? Is that something that has always been part of you, or how did you grow into it? Into being that person that is that's disciplined, you take time seriously, and all that stuff.
Did I mention I'm here for the change?
Yeah, please knock yourself out.
But it won't let me speak very well. So after this one, okay, I to try to respond to this, I'll go a bit way back.
Yeah, please.
You know how when things happen and you don't really know that you've been influenced, but you have been influenced, and it's only probably when you think more introspectively that you begin to see the connections, the dots. I think it doesn't make sense forward, but when you connect, you try to connect this dot backwards. So for me, I would say it was later when I was like reflecting about it, and I was like, how did this actually come to be? Growing up, I had the privilege to move with a pastor, and he had a very busy schedule. He was probably what you could refer to as an HNI, and so I had that privilege. Yeah, again, relationship, people, and all of those, and serendipity as well, of course. Anyways, I would see him have a calendar, like a physical one, right? 'Cause he had a digital calendar, but probably he wasn't very. He liked to write, exactly. He liked to write it down. So, and he had like a lot of those calendars. So, and since I moved with him, I had the privilege of making sure stuff was in his calendar. Oh, people would book appointments. He'll be the one to join people at their weddings. So all of this had to be detailed, and as much as possible, people's schedule didn't have to clash, because if someone had booked a particular day and time, and then another person, exactly. So we had to be careful with that, and it wasn't digital.
Right.
Yeah, so there was no way to say, oh, this is conflicting. You could write in the same place, but yeah. So thinking back, I believe that was where I really got that whole concept of noting it down, right, on a calendar, because he did that, and I watched him do that for a long time. Right, so I now started trying it in my own life, and then I moved. Obviously, I wasn't buying physical calendars. I was just using my own Google calendar, and then that continued. So that's basically where that came from. Yeah, and I think I just realized I didn't like to waste people's time. Right, I liked to be on time. There was this feeling of I'm not hot, and I used to now account for people, right? So, for example, it's not 4 p.m. that you should be leaving. So if you say we have this by 4 p.m., 4 p.m. is not when you should leave your house. 4 p.m. is that you should be there, because I usually account for people who you will greet on the road. Somebody will, oh my guy, how far? And all of those things. So I account for it, and I try to leave earlier. So I could greet people on the road, I could do different other things, and then still get there in time. So it just makes sense.
Yes. Makes sense. So if you could mention a time wasting habit you had to unlearn.
Yeah, I think that would be when I watch movies. Yeah.
You get carried away?
Yeah, because I don't have, maybe I'm not very strong with, for example, I say, oh, I'm going to watch this movie for only 30 minutes, or it's a full movie. I don't even like to see series, because the same way I say I like to finish what I start. So in that same way, so I don't usually like watching, because there's this that to just finish it. And I can say, oh, I'll set it. Sometimes I use it to actually train myself in discipline. For example, if I desire to like watch that movie, I could say I'm setting 30 minutes for this, and that's 30. No matter how exciting the movie is, if it's at the peak of that 30 minutes, I stand up and I leave. I just use that sometimes to train myself to walk away from things once it is time. Right? It's not always easy, and I have not always stayed on it, but it has helped me to learn how to actually manage my time better. Because usually the thing is, you might feel that whatever it is you're doing at that point in time is very important, or you're not paying too much attention, all of those things. But once you just put that in place, it sort of helps. Yeah.
So I want to go a bit into the accountability thing we discussed earlier. We had tried accountability, and it didn't last. That's a spoiler.
But we can't account for it.
We can't account for it.
You got that.
What do you think went wrong? And I want you to explain it so that it will be a pointer to other people who are trying accountability, maybe in a group or a one-on-one.
Maybe let's see what happened. Well, I'm not sure we started out with the aim to. We actually did. We started out with the aim to actually.
I remember that.
Yeah, and put it on the calendar. But I think the the things surrounding that is not only around the accountability, but yeah. So I mean, that may not be something we'll
Okay.
be able to see around here right now. But
Right?
yeah,
I'm not sure.
in retrospect, yeah, I think I think I think there were some external forces.
Like what?
No, that's not for this camera.
You're not comfortable sharing that.
No, I'm very comfortable.
Eh,
So no, that's you. So this like it's not for like
eh,
oh yeah.
what
So
was it?
I'm not sure we want. But yeah, I think it was a human force
What
that
force?
influenced that. May the Lord give you understanding, like Reverend Tony would
No.
say. But I think we had stuff in place, but I think it was just the following up part because
I think it's
after
mostly like unplanned schedules. Like other things were coming in
yeah
with, you know, fixed on other things that were not
we didn't have that much
anticipated
control.
for.
Yeah, we didn't
Yeah.
anticipate it. We didn't have that much control over. Although again, that's the way stuff works because generally there are a lot of things you won't have control over. And the reason why you're trying to have the accountability is so that you can still manage all of that.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
For me, I think there was not part of again when I say human forces as well. In actually that was like communication, right? So the communication reduced. I
Right.
remember clearly, yeah, because we didn't communicate as much, right? Yeah. So, and I think that may have been because of some human forces as well.
I don't know what you're
May the
talking
Lord give you
about.
understanding. Right? Yeah. If that did not happen, then I don't think it would have influenced that. So if we now want to make it more general, yeah, I think the Lord has given you understanding now. If it's something that other people can definitely use because they won't have those external forces, those external human
What do you
forces. Right?
I didn't get it, but yeah, I get you.
Yeah, we could give more generic stuff. If I mean, once you have this calendar set, obviously you like have reminders, and I mean it was even much easier for because we're in the same physical space. Right? It could have been relatively easier. So what if anyone that basically wants to do this can definitely do it because the calendar definitely reminds. For example, I have a group of friends that we meet every month on the first, and we try to intentionally keep our friendship like very intentionally. And after JD, a visionary at Innovate Lab, leads a number of other things, and he held a session that was titled "Building Your Circle of Instigators." So this my circle of friends we are looking to transition into circle of instigators. Why I mention that is we have an accountability system. So that calendar serves as an accountability system that I mean you see it on your calendar. I even stuff like my calendar that I don't always actually
pay attention to.
yeah, but they're just still there as a reminder, like mentally. I'm supposed to call somebody. But I know that I don't want to be reaching out very frequently, but I just want it to be there that okay, on any day
When you have the time, the
exactly
bandwidth to do that.
it's there and I'll just reach out. So in the same way, calendar itself serves as an accountability system.
So, how are you progressing with your circle of friends to be instigators?
Yeah. Again, just with context, the circle of instigators are people with like the same mindset that are looking to do stuff that are impactful, right? Basically, in the most basic form, right? And for me, it actually started a while back, and how we are now progressing is first of all, we made the effort to get to know ourselves, like to actually be intentional relationships because they knew themselves, the people in the group, but they were not needed, right? So we had to, and again, when I say we, because I brought it together, I brought them together and made the effort to begin to grow cultivate that circle. We created a safe place where things that the ordinary would not be able to share with their parents, they share in the group. And it's like I don't think there's any space that I've been that is as vulnerable as that. Like I hear things that so that is the first step because once that sense of trust and community is there, it would be easier to say, or we want to do something, because that circle of indicator is now most usually focused about outside rather than inside. Right? Because you're trying to do something that is going to influence the world.
Society.
Exactly. Right? But this, in the first place, is where you do stuff that is for inside. You are making the circle neat, tightly neat and strong, because you don't know what you basically face out there, the resistance in trying to instigate.
Yeah.
Right? So that is for us. We are keen, and we're currently that is where we are knitting the inner circle, and then beginning to try to see what we can do for the outside. And it could be little things. For example, we're trying to see how we can come together to get to pay the school fees of at least one person, like first.
Yeah.
Right? That is something that may be small, but it's a start. Right? And we see it as something that's adding value, and it's external, it's not for us.
Right.
So once we do that, there are other plans that we actually have to try to do stuff that is much more. I even started seeing some other things in terms of, when collectively you can do more. Probably start one group that you have some shares, or say agriculture, you're trying to do something, you really say trying to just do stuff. Right. So that's where we are currently.
Amazing.
Thank you.
By the way, I am going to link the session recording to
Circle of Investigation. Jesu Damilare
Adeshegun
David.
Right.
JD.
Right. So I have been in a couple of such, circle of investigators,
Right.
but they have been usually short term,
Right.
usually bound by space and time. Like, let's say, for example, while I was in school, in the university, I had a circle like that.
Right.
When I went to serve my country, I had a circle like that. And we actually had projects that we did.
Wow.
Like, I've always been a social impact person. I've always been like a community developer. In your opinion, what do you think could, extend the life cycle?
What could elongate? I think it would be having something that is common. And interesting enough that it starts with the letter C.
I'm not sure they get it.
I hope you see that.
Okay, I hear you.
Right.
Loud and clear.
Thank you. Right. I would stay with that. Common. Because if you see,
You never stop. Alright.
Right, because it's once it's common, right? You don't really need to, like, cajole again, another C. You don't need to cajole. It's hot in here.
I'm under the sun of your voice. Alright.
Yeah, so you don't really need to cajole the other person, because it's something that is. It's similar.
Yeah,
it's good.
I see that it's similar.
Exactly. But it's similar, right? It's in this other person and it's in you as well. So you won't need to do much to pull it out, because as you can see,
Stop it.
as you can see, the other person is there, and it basically will keep driving the circle.
Right.
If within I genuinely have the desire to care for another person, you also do.
Yeah.
It will help the things that we want to do easier. If you believe in Christ, I believe in Christ, you have believes in Christ, it will be, if you have an outcome that is unifying, you definitely, and I think even that may be high level, bringing it even down to like sometimes if you truly just like the person, if you truly just like enjoy your company, you could go out of the way to create a way that we must just stay connected.
Right.
Yeah.
You're delving into friendships now. I've been gathering a lot of lessons on friendships lately, and one of the things that I've learned is that I have to be mindful of perspectives. Like perspectives are such a game changer when you're able to see, okay, this is how I'm seeing this, and this is how this person is seeing this, and they are allowed to see things that way, right? And also embrace that this person, this person's perspective, their opinion, they are allowed to have it, right? So, if you could share one thing that has challenged you so far about friendship, because
Hmm. Yeah. One thing that challenges friendships. Hmm. Honestly, I mean, obviously there are many things, but one of the obvious things would actually be it's actually a duo, time and space. Time and space. Yeah, it challenges because that is why you would not be needing to create structures because you're trying to manipulate time and space. You guys are not in the same physical location. Most of the people that you would want to stay with, especially since you guys, I mean, we grew up and we sort of like that start to grow apart physically. So we're trying to not grow apart even within our own emotional connection, our own friendship spaces. So time and space is a challenge because we're trying to sync our calendars when I'm available.
How old is your oldest friendship?
Yeah, I've actually never really kept count.
Really?
Yeah.
Timekeeper.
Thank you. You don't. Okay. Let me see. Does it count if the person is
Monogamy.
no longer friends?
It doesn't count.
Does it count? Yeah, because there's one like the guy that is supposed to be is. I mean, I don't really know where he is right now.
You guys lost contact or what?
We we no longer had the same values.
So you drifted apart.
Yeah, we drifted apart.
Hmm.
So something.
Not yet painful. How did you feel that pain?
I don't think I was aware of the pain.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's another level, right?
Yeah. I don't think I was aware of the pain. Because I mean,
you just moved on like nothing happened.
I think the difference in the value, the difference in the values made it easy.
I see.
Yeah, because the things that I value, didn't really care about them, right? And the things that again, it takes two to make stuff work, right? And if one person is putting a lot of effort and then the other person doesn't really put effort,
Right.
you most likely may get, except my name is Christ and the bride, most likely may get to a time where, okay, you know what? I don't remember the but probably I can say 5, 6. The ones that are still
5, 6 friendship.
no years.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. So
My bad.
5, 6 years.
Yeah. Okay. Was that the only one you did not feel the pain, or?
I won't say I have a lot of friends. But the ones that are called, they actually still a lot as well. But yeah, I to the best of my memory.
Alright. How did you feel about having 23 other friends when you? Thank you, Mr. Brave.
You felt like NYSC.
Oh yeah, I can relate to that.
You felt like NYSC, yeah. Uh,
And at the same time, I didn't know how to undo it. It felt like a lot. Because even in NYC, I made a lot of acquaintances.
right.
Because I was not living with them,
Mm-hmm.
right? But I had few friends. So me actually being friends with 20 other people was a bit overwhelming. Sometimes I'll withdraw, sometimes I'm all out, like, you know.
Yeah. I think for me it was pretty not easy.
Yeah.
Again, I like to meet people, so I didn't really see these like. I just felt like we're here.
Right.
Yeah, so I mean, so let's be here. Yeah, it was interesting for me. And again, I don't know I see, and I was equally in a family house in that period. So this whole space, it was like university and NYC combined. Because I think university was the time we had the longest time where we actually really knew what we were doing with people consciously. Because primary school, there were a lot of
I didn't have that family house experience. This is like the largest group I've lived with.
really.
Yeah.
Uh,
Even when I was younger, though we lived in a face me, face you. We're not 24.
I've lived it. I've lived a lot of. Because even the pastor I mentioned earlier, yeah. So I had privilege of staying in this place a lot of times actually, and there were a lot of people like people so we literally grew up with brothers, other people that were not really good. Yeah, so as sometimes some people will come, you grow, people that had grown up, get married. So yeah, it was
Amazing. Let's move to talking about product design.
okay.
How did that journey begin for you? Like, how did you start out? What's your journey like?
It was 2020, in the year 2020. And that was COVID-19.
Yeah.
We just entered this lockdown. But before that, I actually did graphic design. So I was like doing the lockdown, I wanted to learn some other things. And I think that was even the very first course I ever paid for.
I see.
When I look at it now, holy spirit, I should already be earning a lot of money with product design. And be patient.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because that lockdown, that was when I paid for my first course. I think what Udemy. I still remember the guy's speaking. As I'm speaking, I remember his face. But yeah, it was interesting, and I believe I completed the course. Yeah, I completed the course. I mean, that time I completed the course. I started. Yeah, that's where I started that, and I got.
Would you say that foundation was very solid for you?
I would say it was sufficient at the time.
Mm.
Yeah, it was sufficient at the time. I didn't think that I needed a lot more because it's only when you are aware that you think that okay, this I have, there's more. Like, but generally, I can keep it, but I didn't know the circumference of that. For example, now there's now UX writing
Right.
within product design. I didn't know if I needed that then. Prototype
Advanced prototyping.
Yeah, exactly. It was sufficient at the time.
Have you hit that moment where you feel like this is what I want to do in product design?
I think yes. I think even before now. Yeah,
Before
that's probably even why I'm still. I really actually like it. Just you like to earn more dollars soon.
That's the motivation there?
No, but I mean, but I really actually enjoy it because I think a particular part of the design system, but just so I don't get into the jargons of this, but yeah, it's something that I'd like to, although I know that it's honestly, it's a means to an end.
Nice.
Have you? I know it's your podcast, but
You want to take?
thank you.
Ask me.
So, actually, goes. have you hit the point? you need to respond.
Design has always been like love of my life.
How does art feel right now?
No, there's no dichotomy.
Come on now.
Yeah. Honestly, in my own life, we are inseparable. I don't have to do this or that.
Come on now.
Either.
Come on now.
Honestly, Yeah, there are so many
I don't really intend to
possibilities.
call this father because this is
I
no. This is. I mean, this is it. So the thing is, yeah.
so you know, I'm here for it all the possibilities.
Yeah.
So, but I love design.
Mm.
I I love how much impact design can make in the world.
Yeah.
It's not designing screens for me. It's not developing an app or creating an app.
Yeah.
It's beyond that. It seeps into every facet of life,
Mm-hmm.
and like I said, I'm here for it all. So whether it's in governance, it's in policy making, it's in social impact, community development, like
Yeah.
everything
Mm-hmm.
that I'm interested in, that I would be called into everything in this
Yeah.
world. You would find the element of design in it. So, and
Yeah.
that's why it interests me so much. I'm making you talk so low because it's your staff. But yeah, that's it.
Thank you for sharing.
You're welcome. You almost collected my host mic because I know that's not what happened here. Alright, let's talk about your other interest, which is boyhood.
Mhm.
Um,
Although that is, it's very interesting how that, because this is was here in the blue that actually came.
really?
It came to light in this much because before here, what people would associate me more with would be something you most likely have never. I think you may have heard about it maybe, but the future Republic of Nigeria, basically presidency.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's a part that's new to you, right?
It's new to me. Like, this is first time I'm
Yeah,
hearing that.
It is. But that is, if I on my Twitter,
Mhm.
no, on my Instagram, there's something very clear there that later I checked out. But it basically, so the fatherhood had been there, but it became more pronounced here. Yeah, boyhood, fatherhood, parenting
How
became
did you
more.
come into that here? That's great.
Hmm. I think it was a session we had with. No, I think I was reading a book. I read Point Man, Point
Okay.
Man by Steve Farr.
Okay.
How a man can lead his family.
Okay.
You know how
I've not
when
read that, though, but I'll
mm,
get it.
I have the physical copy here.
Or maybe I'll borrow it
You should. Yes. It's how when you have things inside, but you may not be able to articulate them. But someone who has a lived experience and puts the words together. When I read the book, it was like unlocking things that it just resonated. Right? So when I read that, it just solidified those ideologies because I have just always wanted to be in a space where men are just doing better. Right? Men are
Mm,
present because I know how the men are. I was introduced to Samadeni because of
right.
a man.
Right.
When I say introduced, I don't mean physically. I mean I became aware of him because of my mentor, not Brave Connected, but
Yeah. You can mention him if you want.
Ekene Otugeme. Yeah, his name is Ekene Otugeme. Shout out to you, sir. And he made me attend my first ever Excellence Leadership Conference on my Instagram and on my Twitter. It's currently pinned that one day I will be a speaker at the Excellence Leadership Conference,
Yeah.
and I tweeted it into existence. So it's something that I'm still looking forward to that I will speak
Is
at
it a
the.
conference for boys?
No, it's
For
a
men?
conference for leadership.
For leadership?
Leadership
Okay.
is another core part of me that I mean
Right.
it's not as mentioned as
Mm-hmm.
well. But yeah, and I equally believe that that's part of something else that's not as mentioned, which is linked to the presidency. In
Mm.
but
I see.
just to wrap it back up to the actual initial part of this is I believe that men are important, right? And funny enough, it's actually still linked with the two interests, the whole
Mm.
family and the whole nation building thing. Because I believe that once the family gets it right, the nation will get it right.
Right. It's
Right?
it's the
Smallest into society.
exactly. But I remembered a Yoruba proverb right now,
Talk to me.
which you will not understand, and I don't know how to translate.
Translate.
I can
Try.
try.
It's try.
Because the family is
So
a
stay to Yoruba
small.
first.
I'm getting to it.
Okay.
Because I was going to say rather that the family is the smallest unit of a society, right?
Right.
And there and then I remember that proverb which says, let me explain it again. Because the family is the smallest unit of a society, and you know, the case nowadays is that so many families are in disarray.
Yeah.
And at that point, while I was just thinking about that, I remembered a Yoruba proverb that says, it's so kinky, Lumba DJ.
Thank you very much.
That
English
used to
version.
say, it's so kinky.
Mami Didi.
I don't know, I told you, I don't know, but no, I can do it.
Your power.
A small fat can spoil it. Right. Even though it's small, it can spoil the whole. I'm sorry.
No, it's actually fine.
But you can't connect it because you don't understand it.
Yeah, but you do, and that's all.
Alright. Alright. So you have been about parenthood for how many years now?
Yeah, I think we can say I've been in school and then out. I don't have any structured thing around it,
I see.
so I'm gonna be able to say this. Yeah, but I can say you're very, very actively and very consciously all the way from last year.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I see how much you talk about it, like at every chance you get.
You know how when people grow, they're all like, "Oh, that's my mentor," and it's usually someone outside. For example, you see, again, I'll just use Sam and a guy, and then imagine his own child be like, "Oh, that's my mentor," and the dad is not talking about somebody; he's talking about somebody outside, another man
Nah.
outside.
You want me to imagine that?
Yeah.
No, I can't.
See, well, now that's actually what occurs generally. Samadhi is an exception.
Because the dads are not
Exactly.
people like somebody.
Yeah, and that people like Samadhi is not necessarily about him. It's like the values
Yeah,
that he
I
exudes.
totally get that.
Exactly. Now, a number of people may not be able to call their parents, and maybe in this case, we can just say with the father.
Like role models.
Exactly at home. Because they may not be, and we're not talking about being perfect, obviously. We're talking about people who communicate with you at a level that is authentic.
That is beyond provision.
Exactly. Is
like,
present.
I'm paying for your school fees, I'm feeding you. Like,
yes.
Children need more than that.
And if you want to go a bit more extreme, we would equally now come to the father side because again his head and a lot falls and rises with leadership. He has the privilege and responsibility to set the tone, to create the environment that the mom follows. That's what the child will basically begin to see. Right. So for me it would be that presence in response to your question, that presence that I am not just the father who pays the school fees. I am the father who you can tell about the girl you like in school. I am the father who you can tell about what you did that was wrong. Exactly. And you have that communion because I learned that you have just a small space of time to actually really influence the child, where the child listens to the things that you say, and because it is that foundation that you have built within that space that creates the opportunity for the child to listen to you when the child gets older. For example, the child gets to 60 years, he now has more parents.
Right.
More people have the child's ears. So it's only that foundation that you have laid that, oh, I can tell you anything as my son, as my parent, I can talk to you and I can be open with you. That will always make me return. Not out of compulsion, but out of the relationship that we have. Just the same way you make friends with other people. So basically to be your child's friend.
It's interesting because coincidentally I read something I'm trying to find right now.
Right.
It was from an article written by my friend Silas Bamigola, the one I told you about,
Right.
who does amazing stuff around boyhood and all that.
Right.
He has this community called the Bridge Hub.
Yeah.
And he would usually say that he's not like positioning himself to be like a fixer. I'm not trying to fix other men, other boys. But he is under the leadership of God to do more in terms of being that person that guides other boys and men. Because we just need to have more present men, more present dads, and it's not happening. And so I don't know why a lot of men don't see this as a pressing concern. We can argue about, women have 121 days for celebration. I mean, Women's Day, Girls, International, whatever.
Mother's Day.
It's because, honestly, women do the work.
I mean,
they are mostly at the forefront of the home.
Yeah.
And so I'm not saying that fathers don't deserve all the accolade they need to get, but I'm just saying that in the society we are right now, women are doing much more. And we need their presence. They are everywhere.
Actually.
Thank you for agreeing, because this kind of conversation with guys, it's always like, is the father not providing? Excuse me. Other homes too, fathers don't provide. It's the woman. Do you know that? So if you want to be that celebrated, you have to wake up from, I don't know. Are you guys doing a slumber party? So we have come to the end of the show.